Hello, all. Today is day 18 of my transformation vlog, and this one isn't going to be so much about me. This one's actually about my kids. So, for those who haven't heard or don't know, I have two boys, twin 6-year-olds, just starting first grade. And it's interesting. So these are obviously my first children. Maybe there will be more, maybe there won't, don't know. But it's been interesting to me because when me and their mother started out, everyone said, "Oh, you're gonna have twins. That's gonna be twice as hard." And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I've never had just one child. But after a while, we both came to the conclusion that if having one child was half as difficult as having two, yeah, we'd have a singleton easily any day. Like, no problem. Sure, sign me up. Because, yeah, I mean, we made it through two. We can't always say that, we feel like the world's greatest parents. We can't always say that we've got the world's greatest children. But we do have smart children. We do have healthy children. We do have kind children, generous children, polite children, funny children, strong children, smart children, and just loving children. I mean, loving of animals, people, God, nature, exercise, entertaining, making people laugh, giving people hugs, just wonderful human beings. They've got their flaws. Yes, they've got their flaws. We've got challenges we work through like every parent does. But it took me taking a step back to really kind of put that into context, because when dealing with other people, particularly, their school, their teachers, their principals, their whoever, I mostly hear the negative. I hear the negative, and maybe that's just what I'm attuned to. So that's what I pay the most attention to. But it feels like that's what I'm hearing is negative. He did this, he did that, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. And it's one of those things where, particularly to me, in my mind, it's like, all right, well, okay, we've got a new project to figure out. We've got a new thing that we've got to work on, and we're going to do this, and we're going to fix this, do that, this, that, and the other. And it stressed me out. I know it stressed their mother out. I know it's stressing the boys out. Because they probably feel like one of my projects at work. They probably feel like they're not enough. They probably feel like they're not going to be enough, because I know they're trying. I know they're trying. But there are some things they just haven't grasped yet. And you know what? It just may not be time for them to have grasped that yet. I think back to just having them take a shower. And I hand them towels and I say, dry off. They're 6 years old. They should be able to dry themselves off. And they will take the towel and completely wipe down the front of their body and leave their back and everything on their backside still wet. And they go, I'm dry. See, I'm dry. I don't see any water. And I just have to laugh. I'm just like, does the backside of you not apply? Like that doesn't count for some reason? And, I pointed out to them and they go, oh, okay. And then they dry that off too. And, some days they get it on the first try and some days they don't. They're still learning who they are and what all they are. And it takes some doing, because like I said, they're smart kids. They really do pick things up pretty quickly. So it takes me some time to go, wait, they're only 6. There's some things they're just not supposed to understand yet. And it's not going to help me treating them like they're supposed to be teenagers or grown when they're 6. They're not at the level that I'm at. They haven't lived through the things that I've lived through. They haven't learned the things that I've learned. They're not supposed to be where I am. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a little bit on that one, because I don't know whether it hit you the way it's been hitting me all day today. But I have to be that way with myself. I have to give myself that leeway. I have to give myself that credit. I have to give myself that cushion, and lower that expectation that, I'm not supposed to be Michael Beckwith or Eckhart Tolle or, any of these other truly wise, spiritual, and ascended or ascending masters of spirituality. I'm not at Kyle Cease level, and I'm, while I aspire to it and hopefully beyond, I haven't put in the time that Kyle has. I haven't put in the time that some of you have. All I have is my growth. And while I'm taking steps, I'm learning as much as I can. I'm connecting with as many sources as I can. It's not a realistic expectation of myself that I should be all-knowing, that I should know how to handle all situations, that I should know where my next steps are, that I should have this divine intuitive sense of what comes next and what is best and what is highest for me at all times, because I'm simply not there yet. And that's okay. And I love that. But I have to remind myself that I'm not there yet. Because while I look back 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, let alone 2, 5, 10 years ago, I'm leaps and bounds better than who I was then. I know far more about myself, about my source, about my world, and about my impact on all of the above than I did then. But I treat myself, in some ways, almost exactly like my 6-year-olds do to me, or do to themselves. They assume that they know more than they do. They assume that things make sense the way they understand them. And if they don't make sense the way they understand them, then they just get all frustrated and they pout and they tantrum, and sometimes they cry and sometimes they scream. And the mirror of that, of them to me, is when I see it for what it is, it cracks me up. It downright makes me giggle. Because I'm going through the exact same growing pains. It's on a different level. It's a different type of knowledge, but I'm going through the exact same growing pains. And I just gave both my boys a hug today, and I said, boys, I want to apologize because I'm going through all of the same growing that you're going through. And in many cases, you're handling it better than I am. And so I'm going to take some lessons from you of how to take in new information. I'm going to take lessons from you of knowing when to ask for help. I'm going to take lessons from you about when to just follow the thing that calls you. I'm going to take lessons from you about when to, make it known that your needs have to be met. Whether that's food, whether it's water, whether that's potty, whether that's sleep, whether that's play, whatever it is, make your needs known and impress the importance on whoever's in charge. And I'm still learning that. It sounds very weird to say. It sounds surprising to me to even say it. But I'm still learning that. And I think that's as it should be. But I have to take the incredibly high expectations of I'm supposed to just pick all this stuff up and know it. And, well, I read in a book once, so it's supposed to be, known. No. I'm not there. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm getting there. As long as I keep on the path, I'm fairly confident I will be there. But I'm not there now. And that's okay. And I love that. The past couple of days, I've taken some steps to do the things. Okay, so for those who have spent time with or are a part of the Indian community, having worked in the IT field, I work with a lot of Indians, and I mean subcontinent Indians, not Native Americans. And there's a phrase that many of them, or at least many of the ones that I've worked with, use, and I've started to use it myself because it's so perfect for what I'm describing. I've started to do the needful. I've put off some of the things that I just want to do because it's not what I need right now. It's not what my body needs. It's not what my highest calling needs. And I'm listening to what I need. And I'm listening to what my body is telling me it wants. And I'm following through. I'm giving it that. Even when my mind wants to go, well, that's not a good idea. That's, we don't have the means to do that. That's not the thing. And I go, shut up. I've listened to you long enough. And this is not your realm. That's why I'm learning all of this again at a 6-year-old level. So no, now I'm learning to go from my source. I'm learning to go from my gut. I'm learning to listen to my heart and do those things that make me light, that make me happy, that make me fulfilled. And so it's funny, I turn, my birthday is in 2 weeks. I turned 39. Yay! And I thought long and hard about what to do. I felt like I wanted to do something special, not like a party. I wanted to actually get away. And I was going to do a cruise, which sounded like a great idea. And the more I thought about it, the more I said, you know what? I don't really have the means to do 2 trips in so short a time. So if I was to do the cruise, I probably wouldn't be able to do the event in Glendale in September. And if I'm going to do the event in Glendale in September, I probably won't be able to do the cruise because doing both is just... It's more than I have, and even when I went inside, the message I still got was choose. And I had to think long and hard about, did my birthday celebration, or at least birthday, the celebration, the anniversary of when I came into this plane of existence, celebration, mean so much that my trip to get away, my trip to run away, which is something I've done a lot of in my life, is that the higher priority? Is that the higher calling? And when I thought about it, I said, no, that's not the higher calling. And so what is the higher calling? And it was funny, I started getting images of my ex-girlfriend, got images of my ex-wife back when my boys were born. And the word that kept coming to me was tribe. Probably the single greatest want that I've had in life is to find my tribe, to be with my tribe, to have that group of people of like mind, of like spirit, of not necessarily like body. I'm not saying everyone's got to look like me, and hopefully they don't. I'd like some good-looking people in there. But a tribe that just you feel that spark with, you feel that identification with. And in many ways, I feel like this EOL community have in some ways become my tribe. Or maybe I'm joining their tribe. Either way works. But it's funny because I've now, in some ways, started looking at this event coming up and, really just the interactions with the various members of the community. Some I've gotten to know better than others, as a family reunion of sorts. And interestingly enough, I'm actually looking forward to this more than any of the family reunions I've been to in the past. Because I think in some ways, not in the physical plane, not in, the family of my genes or the family of my blood, but in the family of my spirit. In some ways, this may be one of the first family reunions. And if so, I look forward to it. Now, I'll just warn all of you in advance, for those who are, at grown folk level of their growth and their path and their walk. 6-year-old here. So as much as I think I know everything, I'm not even at the teenage level yet. As much as I think I know everything, I'm still learning. But I know that I'm still learning, so that's got to be a positive. Hell, I say it at the end of all these videos. I don't have the answers. And that's a good thing. And I love that. I don't have the answers. I just ask the questions. And I ask that the universe help me to find the right answers. The journey continues. Have a great day. Love you all.